Hello, paradigm shifters. It is so good to see you today in this week of gratitude as we culminate this month of gratitude in action. And we've heard from different speakers and the different ways they're putting their gratefulness for their lives into action. And I wanted to start out today with a deep breath in and receive this gratitude from me to all of the members that have made Paradigm Shifters phenomenal over the last year and a half. And to all of you out there who make a difference in the world around you. It doesn't even matter what, if it's big or small, you make a difference in just being you. And we're so grateful for that. So I want to start off with an affirmation for this week. All right. So here's the affirmation. All right. So, and this is an affirmation for this week of Thanksgiving in our country. I experience a profound gratitude for everything I have in my life and for everything that I continue to manifest. I always receive what I'm in harmony with, and I'm grateful for my health and well-being, my loving relationships, meaningful work that I am in love with, and the time and money freedom to be, do, and have what I desire. I joyfully embrace each new day with gratitude. How's that? All right. And so I am feeling so blessed to have Dr. Birgitte Tan, my buddy, my froggy friend, in the house. And, you know, Birgitte, you've been with us from the very first, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're one of our very first speakers in Paradigm Shifters. And I love it that, I'm just going to go through here and do this, but I have a special place in my heart for you for all the times that we've spent together dancing in front of crowds, right? And especially lately being on the board of directors for International Childhood Cancer Charity. So Dr. Birgitte Tan is a founder and master coach from grieving to joyful living. And currently you live in Westlake Village, California, and you're from Jakarta, Indonesia. So I just want to put a plug in here for International Childhood Cancer Charity. And the mission is to empower and emotionally and physically heal one impoverished child at a time from their cancer, allowing them the opportunity to live a thriving, joyful life and bring their light to their communities. So with that, I want to turn this over to Birgitte, Dr. Birgitte, and, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what led you to this gratitude in action in the first place, and anything else where we might be able to help.
Thank you, Judy. I appreciate and love being with you today. Thank you so much. And what brought me into gratitude practice is actually multiple people. I love to learn, and during the early part of my transformation journey, close to 10 years ago now, I learned from quite a few people, including actually in this book, Seeking Peace here, I share about an old man who back in the day, before I even really got into coaching and anything, he taught me about how gratitude helped him so much when he, as a boy, going through cancer. And it helped him so much with the treatment. He was not tolerating the treatment. And this is in the book called NATO with Gratitude. And in the section called NATO with Gratitude, he wasn't tolerating the treatment. And somebody at the time says, learn to be thankful, just one thing to be thankful. And one thing lead after another. And it shift him in such a way he was able to tolerate the treatment and responded to the treatment very, very well, and definitely lived long past his cancer and create such a magnificent result. This he was he has passed since then, but he was a very well-to-do older gentleman who have a full spectrum, beautiful, well, wonderful relationship. And he said one of the things that made the biggest difference was he was doing gratitude long before anybody doing gratitude. And our mentor, Judy Mary Morrissey, and definitely is also advise us to do. And it's actually something that I found worked for me very well as well. I went from when I first entered coaching and these studies to help myself, and I have multiple of health conditions. I was completely broke. More than people can imagine, and I also was very unhappy about my work and have very strained relationship in every possible way. At work, I was just completing a divorce, and the gratitude helps shift all of that and continue shifting all of that. And that's why I said, it's if you pick one practice, that is a gratitude practice. And we know that because everything is energy, many studies nowadays it has shown that a shared gratitude, when you express it, is actually much more powerful than if you just thinking it. When you write it down, it's help. When you speak it, it's definitely even more powerful. And when you share it, because then we share the good energy with others, including with you, Judy, which is an honor to be here.
Oh, thank you so much. And could you tell us a little bit about, there's this gratitude in all situations. And if you could go back to tell us about a situation where you were in, where it turned into like your mission right now. Could you tell us that beginning story?
I was, and the gratitude was helpful.
Yeah, back when you met Ita, right?
Ida.
Ida.
Ida from the International Childhood Cancer Charity. And can you repeat your question?
Yeah, would you go back to that story about when you met her and that story behind what you're doing now? Because that to me is utter gratitude.
Yes, absolutely. And at the time, it was the California, as you know, have many wildfires. And on the wildfires a couple years ago, a large wildfire here in the area, we all, including myself, actually had to be evacuated. I'm very grateful that my house stays safe. And it was one of those things where it was really like, oh my gosh, this is just such a mess. But back to gratitude, I have learned that, okay, situation, what can I be grateful for? And I'm grateful that I have a place to stay at the time. And looking at everything, I am a grief transformation coach. Everybody's grieving because of the fire. So I decided to put a free grief online class for the community to help with everyone as an expression of gratitude to the universe that I'm safe, my cat, Mr. Kid, safe, and my home turned out to be safe. And I said, we're just going to do that. And I announced this on Facebook and multiple social media, the free online class as my contribution. And Ida was on Facebook and she saw that there is a free grief class. And so she reached out to me, and turned out Ida was this little girl from Somali. And she reached out to me because she has been experiencing cancer, initially a curable cancer with surgery, except if you and everyone is too poor to go to the city, never mind have the surgery done. And so Ida suffered for over 7 years by the time she met me from this cancer that just growing in her slowly. And so from there, she said, I am, and what a sweetheart she was. Even though she was suffering, as we worked together on grief, she said, I'm very grateful that I can I can have help for some of my grief. And he does know by then she was not curable anymore. She was at the end of her time. And so toward the end, she does wish is for that no other children die from cancer because of poverty. Unfortunately, that passed away not long after that. And so the International Childhood Cancer Charity is to help children, impoverished children globally, become empowered in addition to emotionally and physically healed from cancer.
Mm. And that's been your mission.
Yes, absolutely. That has been my missions, and actually, that is all my books, the proceed from all my books, including Seeking Peace here, as well as so this is Seeking Peace. The proceed from this book, as well as my brand new, talking about gratitude, my brand new gratitude book. That is perfect for adults and for kids. All the proceed is going to the International Childhood Cancer Charity. And there are many studies showing that it's never too early to start gratitude. It's actually we have studies showing that children who practice gratitude actually have better grades and have better relationship with their classmates and with their peer. And nowadays, with everything's going on in the world, it's even more important. And so that's why the book is cute here with teddy bear, because it's perfect for kids as well as for us who doesn't like teddy bears, right? Cuddly teddy bears. And it is also designed in such a way that it is very simple. This is one example here. You just write down, either in the morning or in the evening, you write down what you're grateful for. And this is per week. So this is 52.3 weeks, because there's actually 52.3 weeks in a year. And each of them have a inspirational quote. Each week has an inspirational quote that you can use to prompt you for your gratitude, or you can just simply read and enjoy them. And so this is the gratitude book, and it has a blank page on the back. So you can also say you have extra gratitude that week, so like Thanksgiving, or perhaps you have some other thing that you would love to release from your heart before you write your gratitude. Or for kids love to draw, so this is a page for kids to draw, and or for us to draw too, because drawing is always fun as well, can be fun as well. So this is the gratitude book, and it is very simple. One little book lasts you a whole year, and it is extremely affordable at $11.99. So that is actually less than 3 cents a day.
And no, go ahead. So what I would like to have you do is, like, do you have like any I know that, like, when the children have the cancer, the parents also are going through their grief and their anxiety and worry. And so what would you suggest? We'll come back to I really love the fact that you keep producing and talking, and everything is going into this, but what is a suggestion or a tool where there's so much pain that it's almost like if somebody would suggest gratitude, they would just get angry. How can I be grateful in this situation? I'm currently working with a couple clients who, a loss of children, loss of someone, and this Thanksgiving's coming up, and they're going to be, that person will not be there, whether it be from cancer, COVID, whatever. But what would you suggest in that? If you want to just tell me a little bit about those beginning stages and how to get over maybe the holidays.
Yes. And this is something that one of the 5 fingers method that that I created to help people, the one that's in particular in this book here, Seeking Peace, share that in much more depth. But when it is something very fresh, the first thing we want to do is to do a 2 thumbs up move of allowing ourselves just to be. And that might be for some of us in the online Seeking Peace course that's coming up. You see this, it actually invite you to cry, to scream, to yell. I even share how to safely punch pillows. Because sometimes we just need to do that when it is in the early state, when it is so the wound is so fresh. And if you ever have a cut and it's so fresh, anything that you touches that, any good intentions, medicine or what have you, is painful. And so sometimes you just want to take a deep breath and just, if you are going through this, to allow yourself just to be, and knowing that Dr. Viktor Frankl in his book Man's Search for Meaning says that an abnormal behavior in an abnormal circumstance is normal behavior. So if you usually are very mild temper and now you feel like throwing things and screaming, do it safely. Don't get hurt and don't destroy your house. But here in California nowadays, they have something called the smash room. I don't know if they have it in Texas or not, but it is actually a room, an enclosed room, and they propose this for stress relief. You go in there and they give you like hammer and all kind of things, and you can be smashing things. Isn't that just a brilliant idea? I'm like, some of us just need to do that. And some people say, well, I need to cry. One thing that I do when I go through when I experience things, I just literally sit and cry and cry and cry anywhere from 1 to 3 days. Now that's for me, but some people might be shorter time, some people might be longer. But at the beginning is to allow just as it is. And yes, as you said, anything, recommendations of gratitude, and there will be time when we're like, what do you mean a good outcome from this? There's absolutely no good outcome.
Yeah.
And to be as gentle to ourselves, and if we are the one who are being there for them, then to what we call, in the book share this as well, be a heart with ears and open hand.
Oh, can you tell me more about that? Be a heart with open ears and open hand.
Heart with ears and open hand. And what is a heart with ears and open hand is to listen with compassion, and to listen with compassion and no judgment. And the open hand part come in that we are not, we have an open hand. In other words, if they ask for support, if they ask for advice, we give advice. Or if we don't know what to do, then we give referral. Because being a doctor, there are times some people say, so a lot of my patients say, come in and say, hey, I have these other conditions too. I'm like, that's not my specialty. I'm sorry. Let me refer you to I'm sorry, that's not my specialty. And to best serve you, let me refer you to an orthopedic, for instance. I don't know anything about bone surgery, so let me refer you to somebody else. And so be a heart with ears. We listen with compassion and no judgment. And if they ask for help, if it's something we are skillful and highly professional in, of course we'll help them. And if it is not something we're skilled and trained in, then we refer. And if they don't ask for help, sometimes people just want to talk, and then we just be there and we don't offer help. A grief recovery specialists, grief coaches, are actually, the first training that we have is actually to not offer unsolicited advice. Just say, I'm here for you in whatever capacity you want me to be. And I'm happy to help you with what I can. I'm happy to help you find somebody who's able to help you. And I'm happy to be here just to listen.
You know, what a gift that would be to children. I'm just thinking, you know, to be whatever my experience is that the adults want to tell the children exactly how to be, exactly how to feel, exactly how to do this. And I know with the International Childhood Cancer, you know, charity, that the people that we have on board are trained, right, to have it come from the children, because they go through different, well, it's the same phases, I think, but a different approach than with the adults, I think. Am I correct in that?
Children perceive things differently, and children process things differently. It's really everybody's different. It's not just children, because some of us, you can have 12, 30 years old, and some of them has the wisdom or the thinking process of a 45, and some have a thinking process of a 20, right? And so everybody is really different. And that is actually described in the different chapter in Seeking Peace in a chameleon fingerprint. Just think about everybody is like your fingerprint. And so everyone very different. Some of us, we processing this way, even twin. We actually have studies showing this. Identical twin, experiencing the same thing. One see it this way and different one see it the other way. And so that's why we want to just be a heart with ears and open hand, because everybody different.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So I am just, I've never heard of a smash room. It sounds so great. I had heard of where, like, instead of wanting to go and kick somebody and hurt another person, to take a soccer ball and kick it around the field. But how important is it to release those feelings?
It, it is absolutely important. We know that everything is energy. And so if you hold it in, it will, with grief, it will morph into something else. Grief is, in a way, I equate it to like lava. If you ever seen those lava lamp that was very popular in the 80s, grief in a way is like those lava in a lava lamp. They change color, they morph, and they actually can settle and seep into something else's. And so we want to release them instead of stuff them in. And that is when we know that over time, unexpressed, unaddressed, it become actually over time unresolved and even complicated grief. And then it's become a lot more difficult. It's kind of almost like if you have a wound, if you have, let's say, the same analogy, if you have a broken leg and you go to the surgeons and fix it well right away, it might take you weeks, couple months to heal, but then you heal completely. But now imagine you either say, you know what, I'm busy, I'm going to keep walking and running with my broken leg. That will create a lot more problem. And some people also, instead of doing that, imagine if you go and sit on a couch and you say, okay, I got a broken leg, I'm not going to keep running, but I'm just going to let time take care of it. Go sit on a couch with a broken leg. Even if your leg unite, it's malunion. It's not going to unite in the best way possible. And it creates a lot of calluses. And over time, that calluses come from things heal inappropriately, create secondary problem as well. So we want to address it and express it right away. And the grief recovery method that I use, it is a very simple 8 to 9 weeks program. So it's not you forever sitting on and talking. And it is something that allow you to express it, to release it, to process it, and to complete it, because we all can benefit from more completion. So.
Oh, this is great. So going back to the gratitude journal, I guess the question is that, here's a question: can I be grateful for being so angry, and could that go in my journal?
Can you be grateful for being angry?
Yes, I mean, to write that in the journal. I'm grateful for being so angry and so frustrated and so this. Yeah.
Yeah, if it is something that anger you, and it's actually, particularly for some people, being angry, it motivates them. A very dear friend of mine, he, when something happened, he got angry and he used it as a fuel. And so for him, having the anger is actually, if we look at the vibrational energy charts, anger has a lot of higher vibrations in that than actually being in apathy, for instance. So this is the energy chart that we have, and anger is in the middle here. So anger will allow you to have actually
Oh, grateful. Wow. Okay. Well, let's see. I'm just recording. Okay. Well, I think something went wrong with my iFind. Hopefully, Brigitte will come back in and little technical. Uh, there you go. Okay. So we're going to. She'll be coming rebooting back in, and it's my Wi-Fi. So there you go. Grateful for Wi-Fi and grateful that we got back in here. So let's see what we've got here. So until we get going back again, let me see what we've got. He's back in here. There we go. It was my Wi-Fi. Sorry about that. And Brigitte will be coming back in here in a minute. So what I would love to do is just if you have we're going to wrap it up when she comes back in, but start to think now. Let's take a minute to think about a person or a place that you're particularly grateful for right now. Okay? And bring to mind that person or that place in gratitude. Yeah. Okay. And then what I invite you to do then is to, if you really want to do an experiment, is to pick up your pen and perhaps after this or now and write in particular why you're grateful for them and kind of like a thank you letter. I'm grateful that you're in my life. I'm so grateful for all the particulars. And when I started to do this morning, I was thinking of a multiple bunch of people, but it was like, it was on the surface. But when I delve into a one person, it really got me into a much fuller expression of my gratitude. So I think what I'm going to do is end this recording and then um, we'll have Brigitte, Dr. Brigitte. The gratitude journal, by the way, we're going to put it on the Facebook page, and all the proceeds of everything that she does goes to the ICCC, the Children with Cancer Society, and we're so grateful that she's doing that. So with that, happy Thanksgiving to everyone here, and know that you're being held in gratitude all the time, every day. There you go.